the puppy will be doing this interview for you guys today. He says in this first bed, we've got some peppers. I love spicy food. As this one starts to dig and help us prepare the beds for the next peppers coming in, we've got some habaneros, we've got some jalapenos, we've got some, oh goodness, some cayenne peppers also, and different varieties, some heirloom varieties that we're trying out this year. I'm really excited about those. On the next bed, we've got some squash, some eggplant, crookneck, and straight neck squash. And then the next one over here, you see this, I've got a little tub there that's fallen over. But we've got some more crookneck squash, some different types of zucchinis and squashes in those two beds. Because my squashes don't always do so good. So I planted extra this year because I do love some squash. What I do love more is peppers. So this next bed, we've got some climbing tomatoes. And you see we've got some bean sprouts that have already started. I love some beans. I love green beans. I love rattlesnake beans and pea shoots. And those are always delicious. So we've got some peas started in this next one. But you see, those are collard greens from last year. I threw those seeds out randomly. And you never give up on something. God never gives up on me. I didn't give up on them, and they started growing. We probably won't be able to cook them now that the dogs have taken over, but I just let them grow because I feel that they deserve a chance.
What are those tiny little sprouts right there?
Oh, those are some green bean sprouts.
What kind of green beans?
These are either rattlesnakes or Kentucky or stringless beans. Okay. I mixed them, matched them. That way
are they from the seeds that we pulled
They're
last
from
year?
the seeds that I pulled last year. So I saved those seeds when the beans that get nice and dry. I save them where the pods are nice and big. And we don't like to eat them because they're too big and they're a little tough. But those are the perfect seeds to plant for the next year. As you see, we've already got ants moving in. The best way to deal with those ants is you mix 2 parts borax with 1 part sugar. Mix it up. You can use it as a liquid or as a granulated, and you just spray that right over, sprinkle it over there, and you'll be good to go. This next one, we've got some tomatoes. We've got heirloom tomatoes. We've got some beefsteaks. I like the beefsteaks. Those are good BLT sandwich tomatoes. We've got Roma tomatoes. We've got Cherokee purples. Those are probably my favorite tomato ever. And then along the fencing on this side and on that side, we have those, the ones that grow really tall that you love so much, those little cherry ones. Or snacking tomatoes, I call them.
The sun golds.
Sun golds.
Sun
yes,
golds.
We have the sun golds. And those get really tall. I like putting those closer to the fence so it'll grow straight up. And then I'll let it intertwine. I'll help it intertwine with the fence there. And those get
we could hang down strings to help them come down and tie in.
They're gonna be great. I won't have to I didn't do it last year. I let them just grow up and over into it. And I've got some beans on this one started. I like growing them up there. It's easier. I'm an old lady. I don't gotta bend over. And I'm not old. I just feel like I need to preserve my youngness, preserve my youth.
There you go.
And so here we've got more tomatoes because we just love tomatoes. Paxton was adorable. He goes, more tomatoes? I said, yes. He says, I don't like tomatoes. I said, do you like spaghetti? He goes, oh, is that tomato sauce? I said, it sure is. He goes, then I like tomatoes. So it was a good learning process, even for somebody who's a little behind, but understanding where food comes from. That's why we believe in gardening, not just to be healthy, but to understand that food comes from somewhere.
So what's left to plant?
I want to plant butternut squash. I love butternut squash. I like the soup. I like it cubed. I like it every which way. And I want to do those. And I want to do okra, but I don't have a space. And sweet potatoes. We eat sweet potatoes when you are not here. We eat it for lunch.
It's Mississippi. You got to love sweet potatoes.
We have the best sweet potatoes in Mississippi. But I don't have a bed ready for that. And I probably need a row for the okra. That's the one they've done the best, is in a row. But our time is just short this year. And so I just don't know if that's going to get done or not. So that's one of those things. With both of us working, even me just part-time this year, it's going to be a little bit of a struggle. But the puppies with these tomato cages have stayed out of the garden. So if you're looking a way to keep the dogs out, you can see they were digging where I didn't put tomato cages. But they have so far, I'm going to say that, respected. And now he's eating a tomato. He's eating a leaf now. I said that. Come here. Come here, big guy. He didn't eat it. But they're interested in whatever we are interested in. That's the beauty of this breed of dogs. If you're into a dog, let me tell you, these guys are the best. Plug for my puppies. The herbs gardens. The herb garden is a special. Tell me when we're recording. I have no clue. We're recording. Fantastic. No, excellent. All right, so this is what we like to grow here at home. We love fresh herbs in our potatoes and our steaks and soups, cooking, all that fun stuff. These are the herbs. We grow the ones that we use the most. I have experienced that thyme and sage and rosemary come back, and so do all your mints come back, and they're fantastic. They come back every year. You don't have to worry about those bad boys. You just got to keep them alive through the summer. Some of you have to regrow the next year, but I don't mind because it's not that expensive to have fresh herbs in your garden, and I think it makes a really big difference in your cooking. Am I right, Chef?
That's correct.
All right, so here we've got parsley here. I don't always buy parsley, but this was a request. So we made the parsley happen in the garden this year. I have not had the best luck. I have tried at least 5 years in order to try to grow these herbs from scratch, from seed, and it's just not happened. Probably a skill issue, the kids would say. So we just don't grow them from scratch, but we've got a great nursery down the road that does that. We're supported. This next spot is a 3 or 4 year old sage that I'm trying to let come back to life. It might just be gone for good, but we are just attempting to let that come back to life. We'll see in a couple months or weeks what happens. I can just replace it. The next one is rosemary. We do a lot with rosemary. Chef, you can tell them what is good with rose. How would you use fresh rosemary besides in your sauces and on your steak?
So, chicken, pork, is my two favorites. I like to braise it in my beef whenever I'm butter basting steaks. It's one of my favorite things to add in, just to add some richness of flavor.
Didn't you used to have a sauce at the cafe that had fresh rosemary in it?
I did for my airline chicken.
For your airline chicken. Yep, that stuff was amazing. It was top-notch stuff. We're gonna move on. These are just tomato plants. I like having tomato plants.
Is that still a blueberry bush?
That is a blueberry bush. Look at that bad boy. We bought that thing and it must have been like a 2-inch stick. And we thought it was a joke, but actually underneath there, we've got some mint. I've got apple mint and chocolate mint, I think, down there. So those are always, apple mint and something mint. I can't remember. What's it say? It just says minty mint. Orange mint. Orange mint. Rivers
Mint
Market.
all orange.
Mint. The girls fell in love with that one. And then there's my chocolate mint right here. We just pick it. We love it. And with fruit salads and tea and things like that, we just love drinking fresh tea like that. These are tomato plants. Again, a local nursery. We did not physically, mentally, emotionally have time to grow these things from scratch. I love doing them from seed, but it's just not a possibility. So you just go down to your local market, your local nursery, and buy those up because they do always do such a great job. I love to just come out here last minute and pick some tomatoes for a last minute dish, last minute whatever, putting together lunch or breakfast. Oh, a breakfast tomato sandwich, let me tell you, that is the best. I am from the north. Do you guys put tomatoes with your eggs?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, not cook them. No. I remember we would go out and get breakfast, like a big breakfast. My dad would take us out, and there would be like eggs with a nice piece of really sharp cheddar cheese. Yeah. A slice of tomato and toast with your eggs. Let me tell you, that was like perfect. That was like the breakfast.
We like our cheese.
It wasn't an omelet. It was just like eggs however you wanted, and that nice thick sliced cheese was right next to it. And it's just, I don't know.
It was always on the eggs.
On the eggs. We just had it next to it, so I guess you could have put it on the eggs if you wanted to. Next herbs. On the eggs deal? On the eggs? No, just right here. Again, these are all local, so don't mind my markers. English thyme, that thing will get huge. It'll get beautiful. We love thyme. It's so fragrant, even just sitting here. Where do you like to use thyme the most? I like spending it with you.
I like spending it with you. What a coinky-dink.
Of course, the necessity, we have basil is the next one. I love basil. We'll just pick basil and we'll just smell it and roll it around in our fingers and make it smell delicious. As he's going to do now. He's just going to pick one and smell it. He is a basil connoisseur. I almost got you the Thai basil. I might have to go back and do that.
My favorite smell in the world.
That's what he says.
If you could make a candle out of this alone, I could burn it.
We made soap with basil in it and it smelled delicious. The next is sage, of course. Sage is good in all your poultry dishes and in your soups. Those leaves have gotten huge since I planted that thing. These grow so well down here in, what are we, central to South Mississippi? We're not central, but we're not southern. We're just in that smashy smash between.
Yeah, lots of gray area.
Yeah, in that middle gray area. But sage, again, if my other doesn't come back, I have a backup to the backup. They're the puppies. They know we're out here having a blast without them. They want to know why they're not invited to the food show. Here's more mint. That has got to be sweet mint there. I believe it is sweet mint. All my mint died with the huge drought we had, so I did have to add that, right? That's sweet mint. Is it sweet mint? Was I right? Man, I'm good.
What
All
kind
right.
of tomato you got there?
Oh, those are Goliath. That's a Goliath tomato. That thing has gotten huge. Let me tell you, it wasn't bigger than this stick right here when I bought it.
Yeah.
And that was 2
Took
weeks
a
ago.
beating the other night. That's why it's a little saggy. We had a big
We
storm.
had a huge storm come through. Same with that one. It wasn't taller than the sticks. And it's already, what, that's 6 inches taller than those sticks now. And then there we've got the spearmint there. Again, it's fantastic in all of your fruit salads and your desserts, teas. If you're not feeling so, you gotta stuff your nose those allergies. Get you some mint, put it on the stovetop, chop it up.
Just a couple little small things over here. What you got over here?
Here we've got one of these big cherry tomato plant things. It's got tomatoes already on it. The kids like to see instant gratification. I splurged on that one. These are just different bell peppers. These are supposed to be, there's just the sweet bell peppers. And both of these, again, I really like having them ready handy. And last couple years, I've planted other things in it. So I tilled the soil, added fresh soil, added some compost,